Good morning and welcome to Coffee Break with Riverside County's Child Support Services, a podcast where we take our coffee break in the morning to spend a little bit of time with our customers and explain all things child support and things related to child support. So I want to welcome our listening audience to our opening episode of season 3. So we're back with a third season. Our subscribers will notice one difference today. I didn't hand things off to my co-host. Bruce Wagner retired last year, and we are moving on with our podcast in an exciting way. And what we're doing this year, not entirely, but in part, is we are getting feedback and information from our listeners about what they would like to hear the most about on our podcast. And not surprisingly, one of the things they wanted to hear the most about was other community resources, referrals, and services that other county partners and agencies have to offer that our shared customer base would take advantage of. So I'm very excited to introduce Olga Sanchez, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. She is from the Community Action Partnership, also known as CAP. And Olga, welcome to our podcast. We're super excited to have you here today. And if you don't mind, could you just take a minute to let our listeners know who you are, what your position is, and what do you do at CAP?
Good morning, Nathan. Thank you so much for having me on this morning. My name is Olga Sanchez. I'm the Senior Community Program Specialist for Community Action Partnership. I have been here for over 8 years, and I am happy to share all of the programs that I assist overseeing on our community services side, as well as on our energy weatherization side of the house. We have programs for youth, we have programs for families, and we have programs for individuals. And the goal is to be able to encourage and motivate everyone to become self-sufficient and to have reachable goals that are attainable and that will help everyone just become stronger, better residents for Riverside County.
That's great. I love it. And you mentioned self-sufficiency. The child support program at its heart really is about self-sufficiency. It's about parents being able to have the financial support and assistance that they need to be able to take care of their children and to be able to have the financial tools available to them through child support. So we have a commonality there. And I know in listening to you and in going and looking at the CAP website, looking at all these different pieces of information, you have so many flyers on there about the services you provide. I can tell our customers right now, you want to stay tuned into this one. You want to listen to this episode because I am amazed at how much you guys do. And even in your introduction there, you touched on a huge variety of things. So it really is my pleasure to be able to help bring awareness to Community Action Partnership of Riverside County through our podcast, because I know that our customers need the resources that you have available. And I have a feeling that there's probably a lot of people that don't know a whole lot about it. So we're going to kind of get into the specifics of what you do. We want to give you an opportunity to share all that great information. I wanted to let you know, and I wasn't sure if you knew this or not, but it's my pleasure to kick off season 3, hosting Community Action Partnership, and you, Olga, because when I was looking back at our prior seasons of this podcast, I did not remember that we actually kicked off season 2 with a mini podcast episode also with CAP. And we interviewed somebody else, a different person from Community Action Partnership. But our listeners can actually go to our podcast and they can find season 2 episode dated March 10th, 2020. It's what we call a little espresso shot-sized episode. And that whole thing was about the tax services that you help with. So there's a VITA program, and I know you're going to touch on that a little bit later. So we did it once. We've got you back now because there is so much to talk about that Community Action Partnership does. And so with that excitement about hearing more about what you have to say, I wanted to ask you, I think the answer to this is probably yes, right? I was going to ask you, how has COVID impacted how you deliver your services or the availability of certain services, how customers engage with you? I know they have for child support. So is there anything that you can share with our listeners about how that's impacted CAP and maybe what they need to know so they can still get in touch with you guys and stay contacted with you?
Yes, of course. So Community Action Partnership has worked directly with public health in regards to the response of setting up social distancing protocols, pandemic protocols in regards to screening all of our visitors, all of our volunteers, all of our partners in regards to moving forward with all of our programs. And because we help such a variety of populations throughout Riverside County, and we cover all of Riverside County, we had to establish these protocols at all of our offices. We have 5 offices located throughout Riverside County. And so these protocols are put in place, of course, for the safety and health of all of our residents. And of course, our staff. We need our staff here day in and day out to be able to provide the services and to be able to answer all the questions that youth, that families, that the elderly may have in regards to our Cool and Warm Center program, in regards to our energy assistance, in regards to our asset building program. So we have really developed our call center, and our call center allows individuals to call in to our agency and actually speak to a live person. We have individuals that are able to speak both English and Spanish, and so they're able to answer as many questions as they're capable of, and anything specific, anything detailed in regards to any and each one of our programs, they are referred directly to the program managers who are standing by, returning phone calls, returning emails, returning inquiries to be able to continue to provide the services that we have provided for many, many years here in Riverside County.
That sounds great. That direct referral that you talked about is really important. I know that anytime you call a call center, right, what you want to know is, can the person I'm talking to answer my questions? And if there's other things, that kind of spill outside the realm of what a call center can handle, is it going to go to the person that can get back to me right away? And I know from the reputation that CAP has that you guys are very customer service oriented. So it sounds like you've been able to continue full speed ahead with your services despite COVID. I really do appreciate you emphasizing the care that you take for your employees, but for the public as well. I'm sure you've heard it. I mean, I've talked with so many people over the course of, my gosh, what is almost a year now, since all this started, who still right now, understandably, have concerns, and they want to know. They want some information from a business, from a doctor's office, from an agency that they want to go get help from. When I come in those doors, what am I going to face? Or when I pick up the phone, what kind of services am I going to get compared to in person? So that's great. I'm really, really happy to hear that you guys have been able to do that. You mentioned 5 offices. Do you want to take a minute to share with people just in general what cities at least those offices are in?
Yes, of course. Our main office is here in the city of Riverside, and we have 4 additional satellite offices. One is located in the city of Hemet, another one in the city of Blythe, the next one in Desert Hot Springs, and our final one in Mecca. So we have tried to really spread our wings in regards to making sure that we have a physical building and where residents can come in and be able to get the services that they are inquiring about, or learn more about the various programs that we have available for them. The best thing to do now with the continuous pandemic that we're all dealing with is to be able to make that phone call, to visit our website, to email us, so that we know and that we can confirm that, 1, that you're coming down to one of our offices, and 2, that there is a staff there and available to be able to service.
That's great. Yeah, it's really important to have those offices spread out like you do. I mean, that's pretty amazing that you've got, the major segments of the county, and Riverside County is huge, accounted for. So the fact that you have a couple on the east end of the county, a couple offices there is really, really important. The Hemet office, I'm sure, is going to get, probably the attention of the customers that are, Temecula on down through, probably maybe even Paris and Moreno Valley. So that's great. I'm really glad to hear that. I know for us, it's been the same thing in child support. The more available we are, and the more that we communicate with our customers about how to get in touch with us, Skype appointments, phone calls, where our offices are, they always appreciate that. So, and just so our listeners know, so that they don't have to be listening to us talk here and be waiting to grab a pen and jot it down, all of Community Action Partnerships information, website, phone number, locations, all of that will be linked to or addressed directly in our podcast notes. So we'll have all that in there so that anybody can just go to those notes and see in writing how to get in touch with Community Action Partnership. So thanks for the information, Olga. You know, one of the things that I think about when I think about customer service related to child support is that, you know, we often have our customers being in situations that can be tense or anxious. Families are not together entirely if they have a child support case. So there's often things that can be intimidating or overwhelming to them. And before we even get to the place with our customers of talking about what services we provide, we really have to address, you know, as a department and as staff, how we deliver those services, how we help a customer to feel respected, valued, that they're heard. So I guess my question for you is, you know, can you talk to our listeners a little bit about, you know, from Community Action Partnerships perspective, you must have customers coming to you also who are struggling to keep up on bills, maintain their utilities, keep those services on, who are, you know, struggling with maybe new environments during COVID about, you know, spending more time together in certain relationships in the home. School is different. So you have people coming to you, I would imagine, you know, that you would think would have maybe a certain level of, you know, anxiety or complication or worry about it, and they need help. So how does Community Action Partnership, you know, go about the how part of customer service? How do they address their customers to help them feel relaxed and at ease and like you guys are really there to help them?
Well, Nathan, you are absolutely correct. We have daily phone calls in where individuals come with us with just a variety of challenges that they're currently dealing with, and they're scared. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know where to run. And so being or having a staff member that can answer their phone call, having that staff available to be able to talk to them, comfort them, guide them, and be able to offer so many various services, so many various programs that can help them meet a lot of their challenges is the best way that Community Action Partnership is responding to our residents, is responding to our parents, our families that just don't know where to go, don't know what door to knock. And so when they call and they let us know, you know, we're having trouble paying our utility assistance, we ask them, well, what utility are you having trouble with? And so in the past, we've always been able to assist with electricity costs and gas costs, but we actually received additional CARES funding, and we created a program called Community Action Cares, in where additional utility bills can be paid through those funds. And so we have residents calling in, we have parents calling in, we have families calling in saying, you know, I need help with my electricity and with my gas, but I haven't been able to pay my water bill. I haven't been able to pay my internet bill because all of my kids are doing online learning, and I have to be working from home as well. And so our internet bill has just skyrocketed over the past several months. What can I do? And what we do is we offer our CARES program. We provide them with an application to be able to apply for that. And so they are getting the assistance, the utility assistance, not only with their electricity and gas bills, but they're also getting that very unique assistance with water bills, with sewer bills, and with internet bills, so that they can continue providing those needed utilities for their families.
That's amazing. I mean, I did not know that. I didn't know that water was now part of your services to help people with their water bill or the sewer bill. And I certainly, I'll be honest, I didn't think about the internet. I mean, I've spent a decent part of the last year also, you know, working from home, and certainly upgrading, you know, my internet was one of the first things I did, just because I didn't want to have any problems. So I can imagine, you know, having distance learning going on at the same time as working from home. I bet that's a really common, you know, question and concern that you get from customers. So, you know, before we get into a little bit more then of the other services, and that was a really excellent summary of the utilities one. I didn't know much of that. My question is, you know, who qualifies in general? And number two, do you fill out one specific like application that kind of covers everything, and then CAP will tell the person, okay, you can get this, this, and this? Or as a customer, do you have to go to CAP knowing which of those things you need assistance with, if that makes sense? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes, so our CARES funding does work, or it is offered directly to individuals and families that have been directly impacted by the COVID pandemic. So these are individuals that once had strong, steady income that are being challenged with balancing all of their bills, all of their house needs, as well as all of their new internet bills that have piled up because of the increase in services that they have had to obtain. And so when individuals come in, we do have an application under the CARES program that allows us CAP staff to be able to review and say, okay, we can actually directly refer them to our other programs that can cover a lot of the challenges and a lot of the help that they currently need. When it comes to referring them directly to those programs, if it's a program that's a universal program under community action, which means it's a program that is funded by the same source, then that is the only application that they need to fill out, which is great. And it's very comforting to the families, to the individuals, to know, wow, all I have to do is fill out this 3 to 4 page form and be able to submit all my backup documentation in regards to my needs, and I'll be set. When it comes to other programs that may have under other state funding sources, we do have specific requirements in regards to additional application forms or documents that are required in order for the individual or the family to be able to be eligible. And so we directly refer them to another staff member who will walk them through the process. And that's really what everybody needs right now. Walk with me as I go through this challenging time. Help me get to where I need to go. And we really encourage individuals and families, don't hesitate. Don't feel bad. Don't feel embarrassed about knocking on our door, because we're here because of you. We're here to serve you. We're here to make sure that you are taken care of. And if we don't have the program, the service that you need, we can definitely venture out and refer you to another agency that does have the program. Back in July of 2020, Community Action Partnership was merged with a brand new department called Housing, Homeless Prevention, and Workforce Solutions. And so within that merge, we have direct contact with a lot of other county departments that are able to provide direct services to our residents, to our families, to the individuals that are knocking on our door. And we're able to really just hand them over so that they can have that continuous guidance with any other programs or services.
That's amazing. And it's so nice to speak with other like-minded public servants, because, what you said about not feeling embarrassed and, kind of walking with them to help them through the process. I'm again seeing correlations and similarities to, the world of child support and our customers. There can often be for our customers an element of, feeling embarrassed, or, I don't want to be in this process. And again, the way you're describing how you work with customers is how we also aim to work with our customers, is to be there with them, explain the process, step them through everything that they need to do. And then when it gets to that place where it's, it's not us anymore, it's not Community Action Partnership anymore, where to send them. Where to send them and to refer them to get exactly what they need. So that's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear you talk about your services in that way. And it almost feels like you're close to a one-stop shop. Like if I needed some assistance listening to you, I think I probably would be maybe going to CAP first, and then seeing, where it expands to and where else I need to go from there. So it sounds like you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and get into, some of the specifics. You've talked about utilities. I don't want to list them myself because I'm afraid I might miss one or get them wrong, but I know you guys really run the gamut, from help with laptops and computers. We talked about utilities. We touched on taxes. So I'd like to just kind of give you an opportunity to just share as much information about what you guys do in other areas, how people can take advantage of it, what are the details of it, and I'll talk to you about it as we go. So if there's a particular service you provide that you'd like to start with, I'd like to just give you that opportunity to go ahead and do that.
Yes, of course. I want to be able to really showcase our asset building programs, because there's a lot of wonderful and great programs that are needed so much right now in our community. The program has a savings match program that allows individuals to just have this continuous mindset of being able to work for goals so that they can become self-sufficient, so that they can venture out and possibly obtain a new development in their career and be able to get an even better job, so that they feel secure, so that they feel that they have the tools necessary to be able to become self-sufficient. And that's what our savings match program is all about, to give you financial literacy, to be able to support you and guide you and coach you as you start our program, go through our program, and then successfully complete our program. Another asset or another item to this program is our Tech for Success program, which allows individuals to take some basic classes that allows them to know what a computer, what a laptop, what a desktop can do for them. And right now in this pandemic world, in where we are forced to go on Zoom, to go on Teams, to go on FaceTime, to be able to connect virtually, individuals need those desktops, those laptops, to be able to have that technology in order to not only connect with family members and friends and have that healthy relationship to maintain it, but also to be able to apply for other services, to be able to do online interviews, to be able to assist their children, their youth, their family members, their friends with the opportunity to learn something new online. And if it's accessible to them, if it's free to them, why not take advantage? And that's what our Tech for Success program is all about, being able to have that technology available for them, and they still work through it. They still work with our CAP staff in regards to making sure that they complete all the requirements and go through the classes. But at the end, in a very short run, they do receive that desktop and laptop that will help them get to the next milestone in their lives.
Yeah, that's pretty neat that you do that. And I'm always trying to think about, our child support customers. And I know there's many other people in the county that need these services. But I'm always thinking, as you're talking about how these things, connect directly to our child support customers. And thinking about COVID in the last year, we've started doing virtual Skype face-to-face interviews. So for the times when we've been completely shut down and haven't been able to let anybody into our lobbies, or for those customers who are, more comfortable or would like to do a virtual interview, they don't all have the tools that they need. They don't all have a smartphone that's capable of that, or a laptop or a computer. So I'm thinking about those people, and maybe they're listening to this and contacting Community Action Partnership and getting hooked up with some of these courses that they would take to qualify for that, and going through whatever application process would be very, very helpful to them. I mean, that's one of the most practical examples of practical help I've seen in any public service agency. So that's pretty amazing. I want to hear more about the Savings for Success. So what are those, what are the details of that? So what is the match that you talked about? What are you helping people work toward? What kind of goals are they saving for, and how do you help them along the way?
So Saving for Success, individuals that sign up and enroll in the program can work towards reaching one of three goals. To be able to open a new business. And so a lot of the classes that they take while they're in the program is how to run a business, how to start a business, and most importantly, how to maintain and make your business successful. Number two is an education goal, whether they would like to go back to school or they would like to be able to get certified in a specific arena, such as conflict resolution or mediation. And then the third and final goal is to be able to purchase a home for the first time, to have that opportunity, to have workshops that guide you and provide you with all the ins and outs of being a homeowner, of preparing yourself to be a homeowner. And the match savings really kicks in because as individuals that are going through our program are learning how to save money and how to make their money work for them, the program graduates them or congratulates them or both actually by doing a match with their savings. So if I am going in for the purpose of starting a new business, my match is 2 to 1, which means if I save $1,000, the program gives me $2,000. So by the time that I complete that program, not only do I have the right tools, the right skills in front of me to be able to start, run, and maintain my own business so that I can have as much success as I possibly can, but I also have $3,000 now under my name to be able to really flourish my new business, to be able to enhance it and have that monetary support to be able to maintain my business. And that works the same with education. Home, the match is a little bit higher. The match is 4 to 1, which is significant when it comes to what a home really entails. So it's not just being able to make a down payment or be able to make the first mortgage payment, but it's having that security, that financial security in the bank that you have enough to get started and to keep going and to be able to become self-sufficient through our program.
Wow, 4 to 1. I mean, so these are likely then customers of yours who they have these goals, they have these aspirations already. I'm guessing that maybe they're already like barely stepping into that area of savings, or they have started to save. It makes me wonder how many people don't know about that. I mean, again, I'm really, really glad that you guys are on the podcast, and I'm sure you are doing so many other things to outreach and get the word out about your services. That is absolutely amazing. A 4 to 1 match on, saving for a new home. Is there a cap on that? They can, put in only a certain amount of money?
You know what? In regards to the match, yes, it would be the $1,000 that we just require for the program in order to do the 4 to 1 match. However, they can go through the program up to 2 times, which means the 4 to 1 match on the first round is 5, and then the 4 to match on the second round is another 5.
It just makes me really hope that so many people are listening to this episode. I mean, I think what I love about that particular Saving for Success program, it feels so well-rounded, right? I mean, you have the basic needs and necessities of families that you guys are covering with the utilities, just as an example again. But you're looking ahead with them. You're looking to planning. You're looking to future success. Again, with the self-sufficiency, it's just is an amazing resource. I hope people are knocking down your door for all of these things, but for that one especially. So I know that COVID has created situations in relationships with time spent with others that is different. And so in some cases, people are spending very little time with others that they used to because of social distancing, things like that. But when you look at their home life, people are often in the last year spending so much more time together as a family. Those relationships are not always the best, and sometimes there can be, conflict. You also then have the distance learning, and that creates a whole new dynamic amongst students and teachers. So are you having people come to you maybe driven by those things that are interested in other services, like the conflict resolution, the peer mediation? Do those touch on those kind of examples that I gave, or is that outside of that?
No, you are right on the money with that, Nathan. Our mediation program provides conflict resolution workshops, and this is a basic course in regards to developing an 8-step process to be able to deal with daily conflict, to be able to communicate better, but most importantly, to be able to truly listen to yourself, to the other person, to your family in regards to what's really going on. What is the underlying issue in regards to all of the frustration? Because we're all going through this pandemic together. However, we don't all feel the same. We don't all think the same, and we don't all react the same. And so the conflict resolution workshop really provides a foundation in regards to how to just be able to handle the daily conflicts that arise. When we go into the peer mediation aspect and then the basic mediation training, we are now providing conflict resolution skills, communication skills, and active listening skills to specific populations. The peer mediation is perfect for elementary, middle, and high school age students that really want to develop better relationships, not only with their peers, but with their teachers, especially during this online learning time, and where they need to speak up and where they need to know what to say and how to say it, and being able to match their wording with their tone in terms of their delivery. And that also helps families at large, because when it comes to having so many different emotions and so many things pulling you in different directions, it's really important to be able to zone in on yourself, to become self-aware in regards to your personal emotions. Am I dealing with this situation based on how I feel right now, or am I dealing with this situation based on the conflict that is in front of me? And our peer mediation does that on the youth level, and our basic mediation training does that on the adult level. And so a family with different generations living under the same household can definitely take advantage of those services, of those programs, invest in the training, and be able to just be stronger, better communicators.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you've said some things that really hit home with me too. You're right. We are all going through the pandemic together, but the way people experience it and think about it is really not the same. I mean, I think if there's anything that has stood out to me the most over the last year, it is those truths. People are really experiencing this in very different ways, have very different thoughts on it. And so to be able to help people just with the process of thinking things through and communication and how to relate to each other in this kind of new way of living is great. I'm really happy to hear that. And any other, I think are there other services you provide that we have not touched on yet?
Yes, we have our youth programs that provide tutoring services to students, especially students that are having a difficult and challenging time keeping up with all of their online learning, as well as our pre-apprenticeship program for those individuals that are in high school and are very limited with the programs and services available directly at the school, to be able to have some online learning experience, as well as mentoring in regards to how they can balance school life, holding down a job, and being a responsible individual, not only for their home, but for their community at large. And so our youth programs are also very helpful in terms of making sure that youth feel like they're working towards something that can give them purpose and that could really help their family as a whole.
That's great. And now I believe you also offer classes on financial education, so budgeting and things like that.
Yes, that is all through our asset building program. So that's the Savings for Success and the Tech for Success. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And now I know that we want to touch on, it is tax season. And we do have, like I said, that standalone espresso shot episode from March of 2020 that customers can find for a lot of the detail. But since we really are at the beginning of tax season and we're going to kind of start getting into it, I would imagine you guys are going to start really ramping up and getting busier and busier as the next few months go by. Can you just give an overview, though, now for our listeners about the VITA program, tax preparation services, and what you do?
Yes, of course. Our tax season actually kicks off with our EITC Awareness Day, which will take place this Thursday, February 11th at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. We will be introducing the fact that we're ready to kick off this tax season year. And on Friday, February 12th is when we officially begin accepting and processing 2020 tax returns. So individuals can learn a lot about what items that they need to start preparing and getting ready, putting together, so that by the time that our virtual doors open, they know exactly what documents to submit. We have a very, very secure account that is available, so that even though all of our services through our volunteer income tax assistance program will be done virtually, all of the paperwork that individuals submit are confidential and are secured at all times while they're virtually in our hands. Wow.
I know confidentiality is big with anything related to taxes, but the fact that you can do that virtually is a big deal. That's quite the service. I would imagine you guys are pretty busy around tax time.
Yes, we are. And we have about 28 virtual sites. And what that means is that individuals won't be able to physically have their tax returns completed at the site. But if they forget to go online, if they forget to research us on the web, and they go to a location where they've gone years prior in regards to their tax preparation, they will find informational flyers and posters that can guide them on how to get started so that they can continue to receive our free tax preparation services virtually.
Yeah, it's amazing. I know I keep saying it over and over, but the longer you talk, the more I'm just amazed at the list of services you guys provide. It's just, I love it. I think this is just such an excellent example of how to practically serve the community. And I mean, you guys just have it all covered. It really is something. So, not that wasn't a good enough list of services, but have we left anything out?
No, I think we covered everything from our energy assistance and our energy programs to a lot of our community service programs. And of course, if there's anything else, anything new that we may launch due to receiving additional CARES funding, we will always have it updated and ready to go on our website so that individuals and families can learn about all of our programs. We'll also go ahead and link a lot of the departments that are under the Housing, Homeless Prevention and Workforce Solutions Department, so that everything is available on our website. And of course, linking them to our Riverside County Department of Child Support Services partner, because without you, Nathan, without your audience, without the families that you serve, we can't get the word out there enough. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and thank you for being part of our episode today. It is just really exciting. It really is my privilege and my honor to be able to host you on here and be able to have you share this information with our listeners. I hope that this is one of our biggest episodes with the greatest audience, because this is very much needed information. I would say always, but especially now in the times that we're living in. Olga, I've got a couple questions I want to ask you just to kind of close things out. So in your experience, you certainly know a tremendous amount about what Community Action Partnership does. In your experience, is there any thing that would typically hold up one of your customers from being able to successfully work through the process and complete an application, or find themselves from contacting you to actually receiving some of these benefits and the forms of assistance you've described? So is there a piece of advice that you could give to our listeners to say, hey, do this, and it will really help you as you reach out to Community Action Partnership?
Yes, of course. Everybody can definitely reach us. As I mentioned earlier, we have a call center with live CAP staff standing by to be able to answer and respond to any of the phone calls coming in. So we encourage everyone to contact us by calling us at 951-955-4900. You're also able to send us an email at info@capriverside.org. And of course, always please check our website in regards to getting the most updated information in regards to any and all of our programs. And our website is www.capriverside.org. Now, please know that we do service the entire county of Riverside. And so sometimes we would like to get back with you in less than 24 hours from your original submission. And most of the time we do. And we have to be proud of that because we work really hard in order to make sure that our residents, that we make ourselves reachable to our residents and our residents hear back from us. But note that because we service everybody and anybody in Riverside County, that sometimes it may take a little bit more than 24 hours to return a phone call or an email. So don't give up on us because we won't give up on you.
Understandable. Thank you for that. As a person wanting to reach out and take advantage of the services that CAP offers, is there anything that they should do kind of in advance that would make things go quicker, like a certain standard set of paperwork that they should have available pretty much for anything and everything that they would need to do with you guys?
I would recommend all of our listeners that if they want to get started with an application that covers a lot of our programs that have been established over the years, is to click on our Community Action Cares that's located on our website, and we have it down as a program, we have it down as a banner. And so they're able to click on that particular program, fill out the application, and then submit it to Community Action Partnership. Once we receive that, we will make sure that we review it, make sure we have all the information that's needed, and then reach out to the individual so that we are able to properly respond to them in regards to the services and programs that they are inquiring about, and really guide them through the various avenues that we have here. And so they will always be able to get not only a hold of, but be able to get a response from the right person, from the right program that they are in need of.
Okay, that's great. Well, Olga, I thank you so much for your time. And I would just want to say to our listeners that have been hearing you talk, they should be encouraged, I think. I think that, yes, it's a difficult time for everybody, really difficult. It's changed so many things about the way we conduct our regular day-to-day business in our lives. But there are people, there are organizations, there are county resources available in the public servants, such as Olga and those at Community Action Partnership. And I would include those of us at the Department of Child Support Services. We are eager to help you. We are eager to come alongside you and help you to find that self-sufficiency and balance things out in your life as best we can by providing the services that we offer in the best way that we can. And I know that I say that for ourselves, and Olga, I'm fairly confident that that goes for you as well.
Yes, definitely.
Well, I believe our time is done. I usually take a look at my coffee cup around this time, and sure enough, it's gone, it's empty. So I think our coffee break is over. And Olga, I don't think you're sharing a cup of coffee with me today, but I know you did have some water, and you're probably getting to the end of that as well.
Yes, I'm definitely down to my last sip or two.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk to us, to talk to our listeners. It's been very, very valuable. So signing off today for Coffee Break Podcast with Riverside County Child Support Services. It is our pleasure again to host Community Action Partnership of Riverside County, CAP. Olga, thank you. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast that you can find on almost all available podcast platforms. You can reach us and get more information about the Department of Child Support Services at RivCoDCSS.org or by calling us at 866-901-3212. And when you visit our website, you'll find a whole host of information about virtual workshops that we have held in the past. You can find information on modifications, the Compromise of Arrears program for help with past due child support balances, and look forward to many more community resources that we're going to be highlighting through workshops and podcasts in the near future. You'll want to keep open the date of March 13th for virtual Saturday hours for the Department of Child Support Services. If Monday through Friday does not work for you, we will have a special time on the 13th of March where you can get services on that day. You can also take advantage always of our live chat feature. So if you like to be serviced through live chat and type in your question and get an answer, you can do that on our website. And please continue to follow us on all our different social media platforms, including Facebook, for a listing of upcoming events. Thank you very much for listening.